Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Zoe and today my brows are living a life of their own. But today we're going to try on some eyeshadow. I'm going to make a look with an older palette because I know a lot of people in the makeup community are trying to kind of cut back on purchasing and see what they have in their collection, or maybe even buy makeup off of somebody else. So that's why I'm using a little bit of an older palette today, since I'm shopping my own collection for eyeshadow palettes, then using them and ranking them at the end of every month. So if you want to see where this palette ends in a monthly ranking, just subscribe to my channel so you'll be able to find out where this place is. This month so far I've tried out the Soph palette, which is a drugstore palette by Revolution, the oldest one. I tried out the Natasha Denona Mini Love again. We'll try it out. I used the Scott Barnes Color Bomb. What did I use? Zoeva. So all kinds of like price ranges and brands. So there will be something for you, surely. And today, what we're gonna use, well, you can already see in the title, we're gonna use this little guy, the Lorac Unzipped Desert Sunset. And my story with this palette is as follows. I got this off of someone else because getting Lorac in Europe is still kind of hard and was very hard, especially some time ago. Still, it's hard, but it's easier, though it's very expensive. Like in I know in America it's like mid range to high, like it's high-end makeup but not luxury. But here sometimes it really touches the price of like luxury palettes. But I got this one. First of all, can I just say I love this packaging opening up like this. This is the color story. When I got this, I was much more into warm tones like this. I'm not as much into them right now. However, the quality of this palette made for the fact that I used this like for a week non-stop when I got it. And you know, that might sound like not a lot to you guys, but in my case, I don't ever use eyeshadows like back to back. I've only, oh my god, I just dug my nail into one of the shades. I've only done that with this one and the Naughty Nude by Huda Beauty, and not with any other palette is it that I used it back to back. Because, and the Natasha Denona Mini Star, but that was kind of a challenge. So, like, I did, like, decide to do that, so it wasn't like a spontaneous action. I just dug my finger in one of the shades, so I made like this big old mess. Let me clean myself up. This is so typically me, you know, making a big mess like on second number 1 of filming a video. So what I just did, I was using Dune in the crease. I'm gonna kind of complete that action the way I wanted to, because I want it to be fully connected, not up too high. I'm just using like a big blending brush for that. Okay, it is kind of powdery, but you guys might already know I don't really mind a powdery eyeshadow as long as it blends well and the fallout doesn't get on my face. I'm totally fine with a more powdery eyeshadow. So I'm now taking that same brush and I'm taking the shade Sandstorm, which is more of like a mid-toned brown, and I'm just putting that into La Crease. I'm just kidding, I can't speak French, nor any other language. I can speak Dutch and English. I can understand a bit of German and a bit of French, if I try and it's in context. And that's pretty much it. So far I used this shade, this like peach shade, and now this like mid-toned brown. And now I'm gonna go into the last true matte shade of this palette, which is Joshua Tree. And I'm just gonna put that very near to the lash, or I mean the crease line. And I'm just gonna blend that over the lid and the like deepest part of the crease in circular motions. Now we're gonna try and do exactly the same thing on the other eye, which is the hardest thing to do, to replicate a certain look on your other eye. I think like doing makeup isn't necessarily hard, and also, you know, you can make makeup look good and like superb. So if you have like a bad makeup day or you're just a beginner, when I look back at my beginner makeup, it's not terrible. It's just, it's not what I would do today, but it's not terrible. You can get better, but it doesn't mean that you were like looking horrendous in the beginning, even though you might not have had a clue what you're doing. But probably when I look back at my videos a year from now, I'm like, why were you doing that? But that's okay, we're learning. So right now I'm just blending that shade in. I think that's kind of even. Wow, that was not the story I was wanting to tell you. I wanted to say, you know, that doing makeup isn't the hardest thing, but making it even sometimes can be. Okay, so I just used that dark shade right there. And now, what shall we use? I'm always so interested by that purple and the reds. But I feel like I should use the shade Shadow today. Yeah, okay. Let's get some of this glitter primer on, which is actually for glitters, but I use it for shimmers because I want my shimmers to stay nice and pretty and put throughout the entire day. And I'm gonna take the shade Shadow, which is a deep, dark, like chocolatey, bronzy brown. And I'm just gonna apply that. Ooh, that's pretty. That's prettier than I anticipated, actually. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but like, I'm gonna get a little mirror just a little close by so I can see if there are any pieces that I missed. This is a very beautiful shade. It has like this reddish, like this black undertone with like this reddish finish, which I think is very pretty. I'm gonna put it a little bit into the inner part of the eye, and then I'm gonna take the shade Mirage, which is more of like a cool, more taupey shade, and I'm gonna put that in the inner part over that shadow shade that we already had. Also, like, makeup techniques are constantly changing, and like for me, for example, there was times in like the past where I would only do my makeup with brushes, like shimmers I wouldn't put on with my fingers but only with brushes, and before that I would put them on with fingers, and now I put them on with fingers again, you know, like it changes constantly. I'm gonna apply a little bit more to give it a little bit more of the light effect, blend that out a bit. Okay, so I think I blended the shades into one another quite nicely. And then, what are we gonna do then? So I just used that shade and that shade, and now I think I'm gonna use Cirrus, just right there in the inner corner. This is more of like a satiny shade, but it has this really pretty sheen, but when you have it on your finger, it looks more like a satin than anything else. Beautiful. And then for the last step, because obviously I want to use that purple, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use it on the lower lash line. Wow. My eyes kind of always hate it when I put things on the lower lash line. But I like, putting a pop of color on the lower lash line, especially when I'm making looks for you guys, because, the more colors I try from a palette, the more I can tell you about how I like the quality, because, like, the last time I used this palette, it was, like, I think, like, summer or something, so that's almost half a year ago, and I wouldn't be able to tell you much about how I think about it if that was the only thing I was going off on. So, okay. Now let's finish the entire look off with like mascara and stuff, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. I put on mascara and something on my lips, and this is the finished look. If you're curious, I used this pink one, this Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara in, well, it doesn't have a shade. And on my lips, I used the Essence Hydra Matte Honestly lipstick, super beautiful shade. And over that, I put a gloss because I love glosses. And I put this mini Anastasia Bubbly lip gloss over. So that is the finished look. And let's talk a little bit about this palette very quickly. I still like it as much as I did back then. It's just a very reliable palette. So like if I need to have a good look in this shade range, I can reach for this. I know it's gonna look good. No questions asked. This is not a palette that I need to work hard to make look good. It is quite easy to make looks with it because you have your 3 mattes and then you can build any look around any of these shimmers. So you have the purple, you have 2 kind of reddish toned, you have a true gold, a brown with like this reddish shift, and then you have a taupe-ish shade. Like, is this taupe? I don't know. And then you have this lighter shade. So you have everything you need in a palette. It is slightly colorful. It is quite neutral, and I actually enjoy it very much. I think I'll be reaching there for this palette some more after using it again, and I can't get over how fun I think this packaging is. So thank you so much for watching this video, me using the Lorac Desert Sunset palette again, and I hope you get inspired to use some of the palettes in your own collection. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, all of that stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!